everybody! ¿Cómo están? Ian Lewis here and welcome to Exploring Together. Today I have the pleasure to announce that we are in one of the most interesting, entertaining and historically important cities of this world. Today, my friends, we are exploring the beautiful city of London. Okay, explorers, we have arrived to our first destination, the Trafalgar Square, which in reality, this square used to be named after William IV, Guillermo IV, who was King of Great Britain for only 7 years, from 1830 until 1837, the year of his death. Yes, my friend, I know what you must be thinking. But Ian, you told us we were in the Trafalgar Square. And yes, because the square as it is built right now is in order to commemorate the Trafalgar Battle, which is an event that occurred in the Trafalgar Cape, where the British Navy defeated both the Spanish and the French. Behind me, we have the Nelson Column. Nelson was an admiral who lost his life, of course, fighting in the Trafalgar Battle. But the very interesting and curious thing is not the column, but the lions that are beneath it. Because this little beast took quite a long time to finish. Woo, look at this! You see, every single one of these bronze lions weighs around 7 tons, and they were sculpted by Sir Edwin Landseer. And here we have another curious fact. Did you know that Landseer asked for a dead lion from the zoo? Damn, this lion is very strong. Landseer needed a lion to make the sketches of his sculptures. And that is why he asked the Zoo of London if they could give them a dead lion. The zoo agreed to give him a dead lion that had died. But the very interesting thing is that it took him so long to make the sketches of these lions that the body of the dead lion began to decompose before he was able to finish it. And that is why he had to improvise quite a lot with the final touches of the design. And that it is pretty much why the paws of this little beast resembles the ones of a cat instead of a lion. Also, in the Trafalgar Square we can find the National Gallery, which is the main art museum of London. And the very great thing here is that it is free, so it's basically a perfect thing to do in rainy days, which they happen quite a lot in this city. But as we're having such a beautiful day, just a few clouds in the sky, there is no way we're going in. No. Today it is city exploring. So while we walk in this beautiful city of London, I was thinking, what could I explain to you? There is always the option of telling you how this city was originated, but because I'm very considerate and I know that we have so much to explore, I don't want to make this video a 30 minutes long one, because I also understand that you have your very own things to do. But I also know that you really enjoy exploring, and that is why we're gonna focus today in one very interesting and one of my favorite events in history, which is the Industrial Revolution. Because it was here in London when, at the middle of the 18th century, the humankind changed forever. Because thanks to a series of events and processes that lasted about 80-90 years, humans began applying machines and science to their daily basis activities. For example, the Hargrave spinning jenny, which was the first machine dedicated to create textiles, allowing a better productivity in the confection of these goods. By productivity, we refer to producing more in a less period of time, with a lower cost. But the main example of a machine created during the Industrial Revolution was James Watt's steam machine. And in a very simple idea, what the steam machine does is that when you boil water, you produce power, and that power you can later use it to move pistons. And during Industrial Revolution, this allowed to create inventions like cranes that would lift heavy things, or the most iconic one, the train, which helped a lot at the moment of transporting cargoes or people. So basically, the Industrial Revolution was a period of time where the humankind productivity completely boosted. And that, of course, changed the way that the human lived forever. And of course, not everything is gold. The Industrial Revolution also meant that a lot of people lost their jobs, and the effect that people went from rural areas to the city. So for many decades there were people that was pretty much dying of hunger, trying to find a job in the city, but they were not really able to do it because there were already machines that replaced them in their activities that they used to know. In a long period of time, the human was better off than what it used to be before the Industrial Revolution. It was in the short period of time when people really suffered it. Now, the most interesting thing is that this effect, what the Industrial Revolution produced, completely changed the behavior of the humans. This change in the behavior was later on studied by a person called Adam Smith, and he decided to name this new behavior as capitalism. At the end of the day, the Industrial Revolution is the beginning of our nowadays society, and that it is quite fucked up to think about. Now, enough history, enough talking. We have arrived to the Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace has been the official residence of the United Kingdom's monarch since 1837. The interior has 775 rooms. That is a huge amount of rooms. And even though you can visit the interior, it is only open during summer, more precisely from July until September, and visiting it costs £25. Now, interesting fact, you can know if the Queen is in the palace or not. I know, explorers, you must be wondering, how can we know it? Right now, I know that Her Majesty the Queen is not in the royal palace, you know? And the reason why I know it is because Queen Elizabeth has a personal flag. This flag will be in the mast as long as the Queen is in the palace. If she is not in there, then the flying flag will be the one of Great Britain. We must talk about one of the most important queens in the history of this country, Queen Victoria. There are two reasons why Queen Victoria is so mentioned and so important. The very first one is that before Elizabeth II, who is nowadays the Queen, she was the monarch who reigned for the longest period of time. But there is also a second thing that is extremely interesting, and that is the fact that she was queen while the Industrial Revolution. And during her reign, the influence and the power of this country grew in exponential ways. Such was the power of this country that the Victorian Empire covered a surface of almost 1/4 of the whole world. And now that I think of it, it is actually very likely that during the Victorian times, an ancestor of mine went to Chile. And now here is his grand-grandson talking random stuff about his grand-grandpa country. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. There's no way, guys. Now you can't do this to us, really. I think that we have had a very nice and lucky trip, but we have also been kind of unfortunate with some certain things. And one of that is the fact that most of the attractions are being repaired. Behind me is the clock tower, and the building is completely covered. You see, I currently feel like going to McDonald's and that my cheeseburger doesn't bring cheese. It was frustrating indeed seeing the tower completely covered because I had some very interesting facts to share about it. Like it was mostly known as the Big Ben, however the Big Ben is the bell inside of it, and the real name of the tower was the clock tower. And in 2012 the name of the tower changed to Elizabeth Tower, of course in honor to Her Majesty the Queen. It truly sucks not being able to see the clock tower. The very first reason is because as a tourist, you want to watch the main icon of the city. And then it made me think, as a tourist, should you be coming to London taking into consideration that the tower will be under restoration until 2021? Well, the truth is that it depends. If you have one chance and only one chance to ever visit this place, then I would say to you to wait, because the reality is that Westminster and Elizabeth Tower are the icon of this city. And it truly is a beautiful building, because it is pretty much like going to India and not visiting the Taj Mahal, going to Paris and not seeing the Eiffel Tower, or going to El Cairo and not see the Giza pyramids. So if you have always dreamed of going to London, and you have saved every single penny you have to come here, then I would say wait for it until 2021. But if you think that you might eventually be able to come back here, then my answer is yes, 100% yes. And the arguments I have to say that is because London is an insane city. By far one of the most interesting and entertaining ones in the world. Besides the fact that Elizabeth Tower is just one building. There is plenty more things to do here, like going to the markets, the park, or simply enjoying just a beautiful walk in the Thames River, as we're gonna do now while we walk to our next and final destination of the day.
By now I've met someone else and I want to dance, but I pretend that it's a friend and you still have a chance. Probably confused, but that's the plan. Come over, come over, come over to me. I'm over, I'm over, I'm over here, you see. I can take. I'm pretty sure you will ignore every move I make, but then you look at me and smile and I'm okay. Come over, come over, come over to me.
So, to conclude what I was saying before, the reality, guys, is that London is a city that will make you fall in love with it. It is so stylish, so beautiful, so unique. Just look at this skyline in front of me.
Up, up, up in a painted cup, I will pour my love from a cloud above. So bright I can see the lights, taking you up and above the blue sky. Tastes good to be drinking all of the honey sweet brew of ours. Up, up in a painted cup, right in the sky like a firefly. Like a firefly. I believe to believe is to feel the fire grow within. I believe to believe is to see how the present comes.
And truly, guys, I think that my love for exploring, to try to discover new things, to keep walking even though you are extremely exhausted, I mostly owe it to two places. One of them, of course, is my home country, Chile. There, the nature just manifests in the most pure, brutal and beautiful way. And then, I think that the reason why I also love exploring cities is because of London. This is not my first time here. I was once here 5 years ago, and it was so different compared to nowadays, yet so much fun. For 5 days, my budget was roughly £120, which is insane, because this is a very expensive city. But you know, it's a student's budget. You gotta do what you gotta do. And I remember walking and using the bikes to every single place from 9 AM in the morning until 12 PM. It was literally exploring the whole day. And now there's just one slight difference, and that is the fact that I prepared a video. Once I'm in the place, I just try to make the very best video I can do. And that is pretty much just trying to create a nice story while at the same time showing the place, so I can actually explore with you guys. The main difference between 5 years ago and now is that I'm actually exploring with all of you, and that is something that I'm extremely grateful for having the chance to do it, but overall I'm extremely thankful that you are joining me in this trip. And there is only one thing I would like to do, and that is that we take a picture together. Let's go for it.
It's good to be drinking all of the hot and sweet color in my love.
With the beautiful Tower Bridge at my back, which, by the way, this is the Tower Bridge, not the London Bridge. And after an absolutely outstanding, beautiful and intense day of exploring, I guess it is time for me to go. But do not worry, because of course we have many other adventures here in the beautiful city of London. In the meantime, all what you gotta do is to like, share and subscribe. And I, Ian Lewis, will be seeing you soon. You British explorer. In this episode of Not Only From Churches, Skyscrapers and Museums Live the Man, we're gonna be exploring the main markets of London. Oh guys, I have to admit that this place is so much fun. There's a lot of mood, many things to see,